Hey all, today's guests are two very, very special ladies. Renuka, I have known since my son was 5 or 6 years old, and he attended a workshop organized by her. She has grown even more beautiful as a soul. Her talents are manifold, and being an NID pass out, an entrepreneur who supports and collaborates with various forms of creativity, she has a special place in my heart. Welcome to Life Begins at 40, Renuka.
Thank you so much. It's so amazing to have known you.
Yes, absolutely. And Dilreen has been my anchor during lockdown. I knew nothing of her until Renuka introduced me. Her warm gentleness and hour-long meditation sessions have brought me such peace and alignment in the last 2 years that as we were meditating last Saturday, I don't know what happened, but I felt that I must talk to these two special ladies for Life Begins at 40. Welcome to Life Begins at 40, Dilreen.
Thank you, Sanjana, for inviting me for this conversation.
So, we'll start with Renuka today. And Renuka, what would you call yourself? There are so many different things that you do all the time, right?
Yeah.
So tell us, what would you identify yourself with?
I would probably call myself a seeker, and there's not one thing, and it's just that things are unfolding. It's very difficult for me to say, "Bhai, this is what I am or I will be." As the journey is unfolding, I'm walking the path, and for some amazing reason, I've met all these people who have transformed me and taken me on my life journey.
How did your and Dilreen's paths cross?
So that's very interesting, actually. And like we say that the universe has its universal plan. So I forget the year. It was when our kids were small. We had gone to Sonapani. I wonder if you've heard of it. It's a beautiful place near Mukteshwar. And we had gone there, and that's where we met, and our kids met, and they started playing together. And that at that time, one did not know anything, and we got in touch with each other even after we came back, and we kept up. And then Adi, her son, came to Windows like your son. He grew up in Windows, and that was the second connect. And then we lost touch for some time.
Okay.
And we were always there for each other, but we had kind of lost touch. And then we reconnected now when after Vineet's COVID.
Okay.
And so we had, and at that time, who knew that this is what we are going to do together? Today, when we see it, we see the universal plan unfolding.
Beautiful. Absolutely. And you brought so much peace and joy to so many of us through your collaboration.
Thank you. That collaborate. I never dreamt that I would ever be doing something like this, but it's amazing.
Dilreen, what is the form of healing that you do? And because I keep listening to you and you have so much clarity and knowledge about everything you talk about in your sessions. And how long have you been on this journey?
Okay, so I see my work as pebbles being dropped in a pond. And I believe that the ripples created will be vast and long impacting. So let me tell you a little bit about my journey. And my fascination with the healing arts began really early when I was in my 20s with learning Reiki, the Japanese hands-on healing technique.
Right.
And but I didn't come directly to healing arts. I received my MPhil. I got trained in theater in Vancouver and Berlin.
Yeah.
And my trajectory was literally like publishing, education, pedagogy, theater, nonprofit.
Oh.
But while theater was the center of gravity in my life, making me experience the fullness of who I am and filling me with this enormous gratitude for the work that I was able to create, because I was working with the marginalized communities, I was engaging with educators, with young people, and we were creating safe spaces to enable and empower them to tell their stories, and then to explore alternatives together that triggered healing and transformation, not only in people that I was working with, but also the audience. No one was a spectator, they were all actors. So we used to work together, and it was just working so amazingly well. The healing arts was something that was happening to me, which I connected the dots only much later. It was happening to me simultaneously and concurrently. I remember distinctly in 2013, there was this serendipitous encounter with His Holiness. And that just changed everything for me. I was going through a very rough time. My physical body was diagnosed with severe nutritional deficiencies. I was having frequent fainting spells, breathlessness. My whole body was so painful, and I was also mourning the loss of my mother, who had passed on a year earlier. But the radiance, the compassion, the serenity that His Holiness, I mean, what an extraordinary human being he is. We are so blessed to have him in our lives, that he emanated. It was literally like an axe for the frozen sea of emotions inside me. And like tears just started rolling down my cheeks uncontrollably. And in that moment, I witnessed my healing and transformation taking place. And after that, even though theater remained the center of gravity in my life, the healing arts came into my life in such a huge way. I got initiated into Tai Chi, which is also known as the internal martial arts. So it's a series, it's also known as meditation and movement, which works with the acupuncture meridians, the nadis of the body. They are like slow, fluid exercises that generate high life force in our body and balance the flow in our body for the life force to flow through. And then Qigong happened, another based on ancient Chinese energy medicine. Shamanic energy medicine happened, everything happening concurrently, simultaneously with my other work that I was doing. In India, in Bhutan, in Berlin, I was very actively involved in theater while all this was going on the side. And then pranic healing happened and cellular healing. So, it was like a body of different ancient healing modalities. But it was only during the lockdown that I was able to give focused time, and I dived really deeper into the body's energy system. And first of all, I have to say that while all these healing modalities were coming into my life, I was able to heal myself, bring myself to wholeness, to strength without any medical intervention.
That's incredible.
Physical vitality, emotional vitality, creative vitality, intellectual vitality, spiritual vitality. But it was during the lockdown that, we were not going out. So each day I would go inward and I would just come out and I would feel like an upgraded version of myself, feeling so empowered and so calm and just overflowing with joyful exuberance and love for life and all beings. It was like that rich inner experience, that pristine clarity, and that nudge to just be in this direction and to just like keep going in. It was like what Renuka said, you cannot, beyond concepts, beyond words, like an electrifying, exhilarating energy is like awakening inside of you. And like every time I would go inward and I would just, the feeling of love and wholeness would just amplify exponentially. And I would think to myself, is there more love than what I'm feeling or what I felt a minute ago? And that's how I started on the way. And as Rumi says, as you start on the way appears. And we met.
Lovely. So I have another question, but before I get on to it, Renuka, I want to know, what was your purpose on getting on this journey? The last 2 years have not been the easiest for you. Vineet was down in a bad way with COVID, work stalled, yet you remained compassionate and on this journey.
Yeah. So again, I think it's all the healing journey and one has been through I also got introduced to healing many years ago. And at that time, I had thought I would never be able to walk again. But that's when pranic healing had just come into the country. And pranic healing changed my life. And I used to feel, no, what is all this hocus pocus? I'm not going there. But that's when the journey started. And then how I remained compassionate to be to that point is, I think all the people like Dilreen, Divya, Anita, Nitya Shanti, all of them have been in my life for some time, much before the lockdown. And Rene May was introduced to me, and all these guidance from all of them, from the universe, is what kept me going. And the most important thing I was thinking today was that Vineet was very positive. And his being positive, the doctors being positive, all that helped me. And at that moment, when I look back, I did not realize how serious the issue was. It's only later on that I got to know. And I think it's just that which kept me going.
And you
just
think
having
that,
one.
You think
Yeah,
that
sorry.
also played a part in Vineet healing and getting completely okay after?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And the amount of prayer, all the people who know Vineet, his friends, all the people I know, all of you, everybody prayed for him. I think prayer is the answer, because that universal vibration energy is what I think really helped.
This brings me to a question for Dilreen. Dilreen, the lockdown is no longer in place. So what encourages you to still do these free meditative sessions with all of us? Because what you practice is also become a way of a profession for a lot of people. It's a compassionate profession. And point two of my question is, what are the practices you do each day to keep yourself as compassionate and warm as you are?
All right. So to answer your first question, about 8 years back, I had heard His Holiness say, I've never met anyone who's a stranger. And little by little, through the years, as my heart started to open and my courage grew, I began to understand a little better what he meant when he said, I've never met anyone who's a stranger. It's like showing up for what you love to do. It's like sharing that compelling desire to share your gifts, your blessings, and to touch lives. If you can be of benefit and impact someone's life, to just bring that. And that's what keeps me going in the direction of service every Saturday when we meet for 1 hour. And I'm so grateful for the gifts that I have of inner peace, inner healing. And I would like to just share it with as many beautiful souls that I can and learn and grow and evolve together. The second part, yes, because I got focused time. I was a theater practitioner, but I got focused time during the lockdown. So I got time to actually design a program which unlocks this magnificent, to harness this magnificent life force that is flowing through us, to actually allow us to step into our peak performance, to create an upgraded version of ourselves, to step into our highest potential. And that involves, of course, a lot of Qigong and Tai Chi, Chinese energy-based slow fluid movements. It involves breath work. It involves clearing the blockages from aura and chakras, going deeper into the cells, changing their vibration, because we all have stale, stagnant energies. We have old wounds. We have patterns of limitation and scarcity. So you have to clean all of those things and then install fresh prana and get rid of what you don't want and then install a new software of what you want.
How has your art transformed you or helped you on your journey?
Yeah, I think art is very healing and very therapeutic. So I don't see it as art, whether I'm working with children or with adults. And believe me, I never ever thought I would get into education. And I used to always say that, no, I've studied so much because I did College of Art before NID, and then I did NID, and I'm going to work in the field. But I think the divine had different plans.
Right.
And I had gone through a very bad depression. I was teaching also at that time at NIFT, and I had a very bad depression. And that gave the birth to Windows, our studio, Windows, the Art and Craft Corner.
Yeah. Yes.
And I feel that what I do with the kids also, it's not art. It's actually the holistic development of the child. It helps them connect. It helps them de-stress. It helps them express from their heart. So when it helps you express from your heart, each piece is unique because we tap into the uniqueness of each child. And I've also done healing with the kids. I've taught them healing. So they're little magical angels. They call themselves angels of healing. So all that is, all together. It's like one basket. It's not just, okay, they come here and they learn acrylic paint or they learn canvas paint. They learn the whole thing, who they are, and they understand themselves. And now the studio has been there for 22 years. So many of them have gone into different professions, which normally the children would not. So it kind of helps, it's healing. And even when I work with adults, it de-stresses them. If nothing else, it's just de-stressing, connecting to yourself, expressing through different mediums, and creating a masterpiece.
Beautiful.
That's right.
And this is not something that's limited to an age group. From what I understand, it can work across all ages. And
yes, the youngest is 3, and the eldest is my mom, who's 90. And of course, we have many adults also who are 40, 35, 50, like that. We have adults also now.
Fabulous.
And the lockdown has helped me do that. The Zoom, I'm really grateful to the Zoom because one has been able to connect to people, to different parts.
That's exactly what we were talking about yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Dilreen, what do you think, what as per you is humanity's greatest challenge, and how do you think we can overcome this with all the pain, wars? Everybody's just ready to fight all the time.
True. I feel kindness.
Kanchi.
Kindness. If we had a little bit more kindness towards ourselves and kindness to others. My personal mantra is like, whenever in doubt, practice kindness. Who sort of starting from our parents, like they've given us this body and we've arrived on Mother Earth. And then there are people who grow food for us. There are people who build homes. They help us with power, with medicine, with water, with electricity. Even the laptop that we are using, someone had to make it. Even if these people did not intend it as a kindness, we've received it. So I believe that we are a gathering of the kindnesses of so many beings. And that's what brings us to where we are today, all of us. And if we were to just extend this a little bit further and also go on to how we all personally, at a personal level, feel lonely, we feel sad, we experience pain, we experience loss. We just extend that love and kindness. Like we all have experienced impermanence of life, instability, uncertainties. So we just extend that loving kindness to all beings. And whenever we practice to choose kindness, we are actually repaying the kindnesses that we have received. And just yesterday, a friend of mine in Bangalore, her father had dementia. He walked out his building gate without slippers for 23 hours. They were looking, they were finding him. And there was this, it was all over on social media. There was this 18-year-old boy who was on his way. He had seen several posts on his social media. He was on his way for an interview, for an internship, which he had gone. He stopped, he practiced to choose kindness. He went up to him and he helped this old man reunite with the family. He chose kindness over something else, that was because he decided that this was
taking
really
a pause in our life, in everything that we are in a rush to complete, and appreciating life.
Absolutely. Because as Nitya also says every time, that pause, silence, just be with yourself. And that's when most of the downloading happens, and you realize what you should be, what actually can be done or should be done. Otherwise, you're in such a hurry that you choose to not look at anything and you just move on. And just pausing, reflecting, and gratitude, and as she was saying, loving kindness, compassion, all these things are what really helps.
Lovely, lovely. Dilreen, one thing I have observed in the last 2 years is that while you do speak a lot and take us through these several forms of meditation, your knowledge of the human system comes out very strongly. So how do you keep yourself, how do you marry the two, and how do you know so much about the human physiology?
So that was like I love reading, and also because when we are using healing arts to heal ourselves physically, emotionally, mentally, I mean, one needs to know a lot more about the anatomy, because healing gives us the energetic anatomy. So I know that while I was working at the level of luminosity to heal myself, and which is our physical body is just 1/10, it's the tip of the iceberg. So if I was just going to work on the physical body, it would not have worked. And yet, because we are in this physical body, this is a container. So it was really important for me to understand what's going on with the various systems in my body, like the nervous system, the endocrine gland, the functions, the properties, because all the chakras are related. I mean, they feed energy, life force to our physical organs, and they also have other properties, psychological properties and instincts that they feed us with. So that's why it was really important. And we have this amazing science now. So what the yogis, the shamans, the ancient medicine men and women knew about centuries ago, amazing science is finding it now. So it's our work, healing work is really validated. Like if I just talk about trauma, the yogis and the shamans would talk about generational trauma, which goes over 6 generations, the emotional pain, which perhaps our great grandparents must have experienced, gets passed down. But there were these University of Zurich researchers who actually did this research on a group of mice, and they induced trauma-like environment for this group of mice. And they found that they started exhibiting depression-like symptoms, and that emotional pain actually got transmitted to their offsprings through the RNA in sperm. And even though they were not exposed to any trauma, and then further to the 3rd generation of mice. So it's nice that the science is now recognizing the healing arts in a big way.
Yes. I have a friend who is a consultant and is a free independent consultant with one of the leading hospitals in Delhi, and goes and gives alternate healing to cancer patients there, terminally ill patients there. And I was surprised that the two are marrying each other now. People are seeing possibilities and potential, right?
Yes. So, I've worked with cancer patients. I've worked with people who have fibromyalgia. So
how this alternate healing works, and it helps people heal with, the doctors have, the medical field has given up and said nothing more can be done. But alternate healing has helped them, and they've come out of it, and today they're leading normal lives.
Yeah.
So all the healing techniques, whether it is any of them, it always helps.
It's a question for both of you. I want to know, what are the new things you are both doing together, and why have you picked what you have picked to be doing together? Yeah.
Renu, you go first.
You go. I think it's all universal energy. It's divine intervention. We never thought we would be doing something like this. And we have our Happiness and Healing Center, you would know about it, in Gurgaon, which of course is shut during the lockdown. And then during the lockdown, Anita touched base with me and we decided we'll do these meditations twice a week. And we started doing that. And then when Dilreen touched base with us when Vineet was recovering, and she made us experience and gave us some tips when both of us were recovering at that point.
Right.
And so then I spoke to her and I said that let's do this is what I have been doing. And during the lockdown, these 2-3, I don't work with many people, just few people I work with. And I'm collaborating with a few people. So I'd love to do something with you. And she was quite open to the idea. And that's how I think we said, okay, let's try. And she gave me a call and she says, I'm doing one session and there are about few people. Would you like to join in? And I joined in. And that's where the road opened up. And slowly, I kept telling people and all, and the whole group grew. And we said, okay, this is our give back to the society. And we were doing it, in fact, twice a week through the whole lockdown. And then now we've made it once a week, that no, we will continue to do this. And the other things that we plan to do together are certain workshops, which Dilreen is also working on how we can do that, so that if we go more in depth with the people who really want to, and it benefits them. Of course, these meditations would definitely help, but attending workshops, understanding in deeper, would take them further. That's what I feel.
Beautiful.
Over to you, Dilreen.
Yeah, I mean, you've said it all, but just like I would say 3 S's that brought us together: serendipity, synergy, and synchronicity.
What the universal plan is, nobody knows. Now, you or me or Dilreen, none of us know what the universal plan is. So we are just surrendering and saying, take us where you have to take us, and we are walking with you.
And so you pick up a subject as you feel inspired by it, and then decide that this is what the workshop's going to be about? Or do you get an understanding from people and what their challenges are and how you may want to address something through a certain medium?
The workshops have all it's like the downloads, when I'm meditating and we receive a download, and also when we do the Saturday meditations like that, there's this divine power that is really guiding, and you just sense the group energy and where the healing is needed. And then I talk to Renuka that, I'm getting this guidance that we should move in this direction. And so the last 2 workshops, I mean, there's an upcoming workshop on this Saturday, but the first workshop that we did was exactly, it happened that way. And then the second one as well. I picked up that energy from the women in the group, and I thought, yes, women are not born. They don't come into this life to suffer. They come into this life to co-create the world that their children's children are going to inherit and build their dream.
Sorry, but I agree completely with that. I think my thought process is that women, of course, are always secondary in this society. I don't know for what reason, but all of us as humans are here not to just regurgitate, as Abraham Hicks says, but here to create and co-create together and live a life of joy and peace. Right?
Absolutely.
So, where do you see yourselves 5 years hence, individually and together? So we've started
5
this time.
5 years from now. I mean, I would just say the same thing, to just create more beauty, more healing, more joy, more empowerment, more transformation. That's how I see myself, and that's how I see myself collaborating, doing with Renuka in our partnership as well. And the journey continues.
Yeah. Yeah, I also feel that, just flow with it. And aage 5 saal kya hoga, nobody knows. And people talk of visioning of 5 years, 3 years. I've always lived my life from just flowing and allowing things to happen. And people do tell me, "Okay, you don't have a vision, you don't have a plan." I say, "No, wherever I have to go, the roads will open and I will find the way." And that's how everything in my life has happened so far. And even with Dilreen, I feel okay, we have a beautiful synchronicity. We vibe very well, and that's how it started. And I'm sure the divine has plans to take us where he only knows. And I will walk that. We'll walk that path, helping people growing together.
I hope the corporate world can one day understand what you both are talking about.
Yeah.
Where everything's based on strategy, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Dilreen, how can one unblock love? Talk to me about the chakras.
Okay. That's a standalone conversation. I'd love to have that with you another day. But we've spoken so much, so I think that let's just make it more experiential since you talk about love. So would you like to experience a little bit of...
Absolutely.
Before we do that, sorry, if you could open your eyes, let's just sensitize our hands quickly. So just rub your hands. Rub, 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 and just press the center of your palms. This is the shortest way to sensitize our hands because I want you to feel certain something. Right. And just flick your fingers. Yeah. And now I want you to just you close your eyes, or with your eyes open, just visualize there's this flower in the center of your chest, and just bring your hand slowly from outside. Just say my heart center slowly, and wherever you feel a certain something, just stop. Okay, wherever you feel a certain something. All right, now keep your eyes closed, keep your hands where they are. This is your baseline for your heart center. Heart chakra is a chakra where we feel love for others. So now I want you to visualize someone who you really love and picture that person in front of you. And just smile at that person. Look at that person, smile. And just say, from my heart to yours, I shower you with much love, with much affection, unconditionally. No expectations. And just feel this love from your heart radiating, that you feel for this person, radiating towards this person who's in front of you. And just keep sending this loving energy towards this person. This gratitude. Thank you for being in my life, for the moments that we get to spend together. And I just want to tell you, I love you. I love you so much, unconditionally. And just open your eyes, and now do you feel a push? Where is your heart center now? Yeah, and if you were to take your hands back and bring them back together, what do you notice?
The energy is expanding.
So what happens when we love someone? The auras merge together, the heart center expands, and we are able to feel love, and that person is able to feel love that we are sending. So and we can do this with anyone. We can do it mechanically with somebody who even irritates you or annoys you, and we can use the same loving energy to improve and transform that relationship.
That was short and yeah. So would you say that when we are annoyed with someone or we are angry with someone, then we can do this short exercise to align?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. So I want you to visualize someone who irritates you. Close your eyes, just visualize this person did something and your emotional body got so irritated. Just visualize that person in front of you. Keep going. And you got really the emotional body got super annoyed. All right, stop. I want you to again bring your hands out and come and just notice what happened to your heart center. Shrinks,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
There is no heart center. Okay.
Yeah. It's like my
All right.
hand now. Pehle the
Yeah.
energies were holding it. Pass
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Yes. And now we are going to use the loving energy that you felt when you loved somebody to improve the relationship with this person who irritated you. Okay, so I want you to now use your left hand, tap the center of your chest. I want you to raise your hands at the chest level. Okay, and just visualize this person in front of you. The same person who kind of irritated you a while back. Just visualize this person and just be aware of your heart, be aware of your hands. There's that loving energy that you felt for this person a while back, the person who you love. There's that pink light which is glowing in your heart, and it's filling up your whole body and flowing through your hands, and now it's filling up this person in front of you. Even if you're doing it mechanically, even if you don't feel it, just saturate this person with this beautiful pink light which is flowing from your heart through your hands. And just say, may you be blessed with love, peace, kindness, and joy. May you be blessed with so much love, peace, and kindness. And just saturate, fill this person from head to toe with this beautiful pink light, dazzling pink light. May you be blessed with love, peace, kindness, and joy. So much joy, so much inner peace and kindness. Just keep going. Keep going. I'm doing it because I'm doing it unconditionally. No expectations. May you be filled with love, peace, and kindness. Kindness. All right, stop. I want you to again feel your heart center. What happened this time? The same person who irritated you and the heart center shrunk.
Yeah.
Observe your thoughts, your emotions. It's not such a big deal now. What do you feel about this person?
It's no deal. It's no deal. It's no effing deal. That was a beautiful exercise. I hope people watch this and practice it. This is fabulous. Thank you. Okay, so coming back to the mundane and yet not so mundane, Renuka, what inspires you each day?
When I get up in the morning, I think it's a new day. And what really inspires me is, the children when they come, like now everything is online. But even if you are stressed, earlier also, if I was feeling low or anything and the children come and you go up to the studio or now on Zoom, everything just dissolves. Everything dissolves and you are in a happier state. Like, for example, and they come up with such beautiful lines which you would never have thought of. Like, for example, yesterday we had our session and this little boy, he never puts his camera on his work. And I keep trying to tell him to do that. So there, in the same group, there's another girl who's 4 years old. So she says yesterday, okay, I have an idea how he can, because he said, I don't know how to do it. So I said, you're intelligent, you can do it. So he says, no, I don't know. And I find that difficult. So this little girl, Triambika, she says, I have an idea how he will, because he is creative, how he can do it is eat more badams and eat more cashews and he'll be able to do it.
Oh God, amazing.
Yes. I hope you
Come
pass
up
the message to the mother.
Yes.
And what gets you excited about getting out of bed in the morning, Dilreen?
Oh, what gets me excited? Life. Life gets me excited. I love life. I think life is beautiful and we have this gift We have so many blessings. So I wake up with a smile, and I'm just so grateful to my body to just wake up so fresh and excited and inspired. It keeps me going the entire day.
Yes, that's
gratitude. Yeah, gratitude. Like, Rumi says, wear gratitude like a cloak, and it lights up every corner of your life.
Yeah.
And just so much of gratitude for being alive. Like, just gratitude of mind grows gratitude of heart, gratitude of aliveness. And I feel that's the only way to access an abundant universe. And also it keeps you away from falling into the trap of counting negative things. I mean, counting our blessings, I think, is the single most powerful transformative practice that we can do in our everyday lives.
अच्छा, पहले रेणुका फिर आप कि what are the three most important things according to both of you to live a life of peace and happiness?
I think most important, I think, is gratitude. Being grateful, because we are so much better off than so many. That's how I think. Not think of gratitude, compassion, and looking, just doing for others, just being there. These things just take you forward.
Yeah, that's the essence also.
Yeah.
Right. Dilreen, aapke liye?
Okay, so Renuka has already spoken about gratitude. So definitely gratitude. The second thing, which is really, really important that I would like to talk about, is forgiveness.
Yes.
I think it's so important to forgive and let go.
Really,
and
really
I want to give you And the third most important thing that I feel is just to have a beginner's mindset. Even if you've been with your partner with like 10 years, 15 years, just to look at the person who've been in our lives with fresh eyes, just to experience life and to experience everyone that we encounter with that newness, with that freshness of every moment that we carry into every engagement. Thank you for inviting us. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely. It was really amazing.
Yeah, it's been a peaceful moment of joy chatting with both of you. And
same here.
Yeah, and I'm so deeply appreciative of both of.
Yeah,
both
I think it's
just us to like, subscribe, and share the channel.
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Like, subscribe, share the channel.
Very good.
Like, subscribe, and share the channel.
Yeah. Thank you.